Hello guys, today I'll be showing you how to create a load balancer and also create instances, then connect those instances to your load balancer, then create a landing page to test your load balancer. That is to test if the load balancer actually works. So the first step is to create our instance. So I'm going to create 3 instances on AWS. This platform is AWS, so I'm going to call my instance demo. Then I'm going to put 3 here. Okay. And I'm going to use the Amazon Linux. I'm going to use the Amazon Linux operating system and free version. I'm going to use the free version of all the services. I'm going to select a random key that I have, and then I'm going to click all this. So because we are going to test when the instance launch, you have to test if it works. Then we'll later come and edit it and connect the instance to the load balancer. But for now, I'm going to allow everything so I can test if it works. So I'm going to click advanced because I need to input user data. That's important. So user data helps us to configure our instance as it's being set up. Anything we want to be added to our instance will be added when we specify it on the user data. So I want it to install HTTPD. It's like a landing page that you can edit and configure anything you want to display on your public IP. So I'm going to I've already written the code, so I'll just copy it. So this is the code. I'm using Amazon Linux, that's why it says sudo yum. If it was an Ubuntu system, it will say sudo install, sudo apt install. So it's a simple code just to configure the HTML landing page. I'll just copy this and paste it on my user data. Okay, then I'm going to click create, launch instance. So after this instance launch, the next thing is to create a load balancer. So I'm just going to, to confirm if my instance actually works, I have to confirm if the instance actually works. So I created demo. Okay, so these are the instances I created, 1 2 3. So it's pending. I'm going to wait for it to say complete, to say to be ticked. When it's ticked, then I can continue. So I'm going to wait. While we wait, we're going to create a load balancer. Okay, so this is load balancer. You can search for load balancer here, but I know where to find it, so this is where you find it, load balancers. And then create load balancer. I'm going to create an application load balancer, so I'm going to click create. So I'm just going to call this load balance. I'm going to call it load balance. I'm going to click internet facing IPv4. I'm going to leave this as default. I'm just going to tick this and tick this, my availability zones. Okay, then security group, I'm going to create a new security group. I'm not going to use this default because this default allows traffic to and fro. It allows traffic into my instance and out of my instance, so I'm going to create a new security group. So I'm going to call this security group sec1. Let's call it sec1 or sec5. Let me call it sec5. I don't want to call it sec5. Let me just call it security. Okay, then I'm going to call it internet, and then I'm going to leave this as default. I'm going to add an inbound rule. My inbound rule is going to be HTTP. HTTP is what HTTP, and then I'm going to click all. That's the 00. and my outbound is going to be all traffic. This is 00, not all, so you're going to choose the one that says 00, and then we create our security group. So while it's creating, let's open instances. Let me check my instance if it has finished. So to confirm if the instance has been launched and if it works, I'm going to try and visit the public IP of one of my instance. Anything that happens to one instance will happen to the three of them. So I'm just going to visit the public IP of this. Okay, so it's working. This is what I set it to display. So my instance is actually running as supposed to. So let's go back to security group. Okay, we've created a security group, so we go back to load balancer. So now in your security group, you refresh so you can see the security group you just created, and then I'm going to click security. I just created security, so I'm going to click security. I'm going to remove this default that was here. I don't want this default security group. Okay, listeners, I need a target group. So listeners just mean who is the load balancer going to talk to, who is it communicating with. Like, the load balancer is not going to just be idle, so I'm going to tell it to connect to the instances, those 3 instances which I created before. So that's what target group means. So I'm going to click instances, target group name, I'm going to call it target 1, and then this I'm going to leave it as default. I'm going to leave this HTTPD check. Okay, leave it like that. I think that's all. I'm going to create the target group. Okay, so it's going to show me all my instances that are running. I'm going to select the ones I want to connect to this load balancer. So I'm going to say connect this, connect this, connect this. These are the ones tagged demo. So I'm going to connect 3 of them to my load balancer, and I'm going to click include as pending below. Okay, so it's been added and it says pending. So pending just means is cross-checking health status, so you can ignore that, but it just helps us to make sure that our instances are in a good working condition. Then I'm going to create target group. Okay, so target 1 has been created. That's the target group called target 1. So 3 targets, health check 0, everything is 0 because it's still running health check. So it says load balancer non-associated because we have not finished creating our load balancer. As you can see, this is our load balancer tab here. This is another tab. So I'm going to go back to my load balancer. I'm going to refresh. Then I'm going to select target 1. That previously target 1 was not showing here, but now after I've created the target group, I refreshed and now it's showing. And then that's all. Okay, now we can click create load balancer. Okay, view load balancer. So the load balancer is going to give us a DNS. A DNS is just like a web address that we can visit. So if we visit this web address, it's supposed to show us what our instance is showing us. Instead of visiting this public IP now, we are going to visit this DNS. That's when it's finished. When it's finished setup, it says provisioning, so it just means it is processing. It's not ready to use. So I'm going to be refreshing until this says we're good to go, until it's ticked. Then I'll visit this I'll visit this address, and I'll be able to see what I set on my instances. So now to make our instance, while we wait for this, I'll come back. I'll be refreshing this to make sure that okay, it's still working on it. We don't need this tab again, so I'm going to close it. That was when we're creating our target group. So I'm going to wait for my load balancer to be configured. So while we wait, I'm going to disconnect I'm going to change the security group of my instance, because you remember we clicked all traffic, all SSH, all everything. So I'm going to go to my security group now. I want to confirm if okay. So we don't want our inbound rules to be all this. We just want, I'm going to security group. So I'm going to click this. Then I'm going to edit security group, HTTPS. I don't want all this. I'm going to delete all, delete, and then I'm going to add my own security group. So what I just did now is I will not be able to access it with my public IP again after I do this. And then I pick HTTP, and then I search for my security group which I created. It's called security. Okay, this is it, security. So now the only way to access this instance now is to pass through my security group, that is to pass through my load balancer. And I'm going to save the rule. Okay, so let's go back to my instances. Let me check. We just did for this, so let me check this other one, security group also. Okay, so I think this one has adjusted, because it's just this is my security group which I created, and this is all. So this one is good because all of them are in the same target group. So once you change for one, I think it reflects on all the other, instances. So this should be the same also. Yeah, this is my inbound rule. And just my security group that is connected to it. So if I refresh this, it's not going to show this anymore. It's not supposed to show anything because I've disconnected my public IP from being accessible from my instance. So my network is a little slow, but it's not supposed to display anything after this. Let me pick another public IP address. Oh, my network is super slow, but not you. Okay, so I'm going to pick this second one, and I'm going to pick the public address. Let me try and visit it and see what it shows. Paste and go. It's supposed to give me not reachable. So it's still loading, but it's not going to display anything. So let me load. My load balancer should be ready by now. Okay, active. So if I visit this load balancer, it should show me what my public IP is supposed to show me. This has finished, so this is what I expected to see. Now I'm going to visit my load balancer. Okay, so my load balancer works. So if I refresh it, this IP is going to change. It has changed, so it's switching between my instances. So as I refresh, it's visiting different instances. That's all. You can feel free to comment or mention anything you don't understand, and I'll try and make a video about that. And you need to delete, for AWS not to charge you, you need to delete what you just did now. So you delete them one by one, just like you created it. So the first thing I'll do is to delete my instances. That's if I'm done. So I'll delete my instances. I don't want them running, so just for the purpose of this video. So I'll delete them. Instance state going to terminate. So I'm going to go to load balancer, just the way I created them. You have to delete them accordingly. If not, some of them will not delete. They'll say you have to delete some other services for you to delete the next service. So I'll delete load balancer next. Delete load balancer. Confirm. Okay, target groups. Going to the target group. Action. Delete. Okay, I think we are good to go. So that's how to connect your instances to your target group, and also to create a landing page using HTTPD. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. More videos will be coming daily or very soon. Just subscribe. Thank you very much.